Now that we found the local max and local min of this polynomial, let's go ahead and describe the intervals where the polynomial is both increasing and decreasing. These are going to use our local max and local min. So I made a really rough sketch of what we just found in order to help us answer this question. What I want to imagine is this is a roller coaster and I'm writing it from left to right. So as I begin writing that roller coaster, I can see that I'm increasing up until I get to that maximum value where I'll go down that first drop of the roller coaster. And so my first interval is increasing because it's rising. And so to describe this interval, I'm going to say I'm going from negative infinity all the way up to the x value. Increasing, decreasing intervals always only use the x values. So I'm only looking at these. I don't care about the y values for intervals. So I'm increasing up until I get to this point, or this x value of negative 1.87. Okay. After that, I start to drop, but let's look for any other spots where we're increasing while we're talking about increasing. So I'll go down the hill, that's fun. And then I get down to the low point where once again, I start increasing again. So there's a second interval where this graph is increasing. I'm going to use that union symbol to say that there's a second spot where I'm increasing. And once again, I'm only using x values. So the x value over here at this wall was 0.57. And then the graph will continue increasing forever as x goes on to infinity. Well, let's talk about that decreasing interval then, the fun part of the roller coaster where we're dropping down. So there was one interval where we were decreasing. And once again, I'm going to label this only with the x value. So I'm decreasing on this part of the roller coaster just down there. So between those two walls that I drew, the two x values, the first one occurred at negative 1.87, and I was decreasing all the way until I got to that second x value, that second wall at negative 0.54. So there's my description of the intervals where this graph is increasing and decreasing. Notice I also only use parentheses. I never use the square brackets in increasing, decreasing intervals. I only use the parentheses and only use the x values.